Geez, what do you seize in your life? What do you collect? Is it glass? Stained glass? Is it hardware? Like doorknobs? Would you believe? What would you achieve by collecting doorknobs, you might say? Well, I would say, what else could you collect that might be pretty? Well, doorknobs, with their history, the differences. Did they come from the treasury or Al Capone's hotel? Did they perhaps involve the Masons? Who would know? Would you go to hell if you learned of all the things that you could use again? What would you do? Would you have a plan? So I've accumulated many things. Chicago schools, would you believe? And so much that is hidden. Rosettes and others. How do you lock a window? I can tell you many ways. And how do you open drawers? How do you open windows? There's so many things. Hinges with springs built in. Window locks from another century. Latches, just as cute as can be, that open cabinets that you can't see. So much there is that few people know. Well, how? Exists. And I want you to know. Hardware of all sorts. Aladdin. They made homes. Did you know that? There are some things in life that people don't see, don't get to appreciate quite as much as me. I collected many things. Those are tiles that you can make showers out of. Those are the lions off of the Philadelphia courthouse downtown. Those are cherubs with a lion on the front plate of a door to let everybody know. There, again, so much. And where on earth is it hidden in the past? Most of this gets trashed. Why not use it again? Why not let it be once more a door, a doorknob, or a piece of stained glass? Why would you want to have thrown all of this away? Some of this is absolutely delightful. See the griffins on display? A lot of this looks hidden until you look deep and you see the fox's head hiding if you're asleep. All of these little pieces can go on your doors. Why not decorate? So your door says more. Look at the little castle. And the palms. Yes, so many different ways to decorate a door. But if you go to the store now, what will you see? It won't be the things that you find with me. That is a wow door. Once upon a time, the woodsman of the world. And there's so many more hidden underneath. Look at that, the Chicago. Schools, governments, your tax dollars at work, and even some that glow. Don't you know that's radioactive? All the things that you could do If you had a knob or two, there's some that are made out of wood. There's some for pocket doors. There are some to cover up your doorbell. There are doorknobs in the old days that had levers that did not turn. All these things could be used once more to build a home. Things that were made so long ago. 1835. Wouldn't you know? Other pieces, most think, no. Could that be 100 years old? Leaded glass? Why not? It'll pass if you have a tiny home. All of this could be used again. Why would you throw it away? The big cities are full of them, and yet, still to this day, I've collected, I've been around. I know the difference of what can be found. Would you believe a single doorknob can be worth thousands of dollars? Something like this from 1835 may be only worth $50 or $100. But where are you going to find that quality in a store nowadays for $100? Where are you going to find a robin's egg blue or a knob as unusual as this to use? And all of these are usable again. Don't get me wrong. It doesn't take that much. I can rebuild them and teach others how. And there's so much going on in a doorknob. For example, I tell people, what organization is that? Would you believe it was so much they would advertise it on the door? Yeah. And if you're walking down the hall, would that give you the heebie-jeebies knowing those guys are looking at you? You say, which guys? Those guys standing next to the crosses. Yeah, it's called the KKK. So whether it's plumbing, it could be reused again, or whether it's hinges of all sorts from the 1840s, still functional, still usable, and mortises and locks, and of course, all sorts of things. Whoops, there we go. Sorry, turn you said. And look at that. If you wanted to save things and use them again, why not? Why make more? This is stained glass, painted and baked. These are sets for a chapel. These are really cool, but you can't use them if you got to build a code. Now, if you build a tiny house and build it to look old and use all those parts, yes, you can. Which ones are chalk and which ones are newer? Would you believe you could actually use these switches? And they would even work for DC current. Push button switches with no danger of fire, because DC doesn't make fire. So all of these things that you could do, things that you could use again, doorknobs, glass, tile, why not? Why not? That's what I ask everybody. Why not? Hey, I got the flash on. Why not? So, as you start to look at things and wonder, wow, isn't that textured glass cool? And say, yeah. And this looks like just radio glass, but look at the pattern. All etched in. That's $200 a square foot. And there's 2 of those panes with a door to go with them. But who pays that kind of crazy money? Well, I did. So, I want, please, consider. There's a lot of things that you could sell to other people. Things that you could show them, turn them on to. Things. It's called a skyscraper globe. They're about 1.5 feet long, and they're beautiful when you light them up upside down. There's other things, and I wanted to show you just one more in my stash of things in store that I'm going to go ahead and start selling again. things like walnut trim and ornaments for your chapel, or a stained glass window, hand blown, things like that. But even better, I should say, I wanted to show you the tile. Oh my goodness. And it allows you to see, oh my goodness, now this is a beautiful shot. Let me get my finger out of the way. Here we go. Now this is blue tile. That is entire roof. I showed you a little earlier. Pieces that you can actually build. It will actually works for a great bookcase. And I used 1x12. Now that's a whole collection of catalogs for hardware. Samples. That was a sample he used to carry with him as a salesman. All those plinth blocks, I have a good 150 of those, 5-inch wide, longleaf pine, never been used before. But the tile, that's Japanese tile. It is really thick, will withstand any kind of hail. You can throw it up to about 3 inches. It lasts for 300 years, hand glazed. That's a valley piece. That's an end cap. You see how they look? And that's another kind of end cap. And that's a ridge cap. And then the field, of course, is longer, bigger pieces. And that's what I used to build this cabinet with. Now, that's, of course, the typewriter, because you know I love to write, don't you? Gosh, imagine. And books, of course. Everybody loves books. And there's a beautiful big old French cabinet. Oh, gorgeous thing. It's supposed to go on top of that over there, which means you better have a 12-foot ceiling. Can't use that. So many pieces I have sitting around. And the idea is that at some point, isn't she sweet? Some of these will be found. Oh, this is a gorgeous piece. That's the, yes, Queen of Pearls. Beautiful. But that is a print. Actually, it's a signed Michael Wolverton ink drawing. Yeah, can you imagine doing that in ink? He was an amazing man, died of AIDS in the 90s, unfortunately. And then one last treasure to show you is one of a pair of Tiger Oak Mission Style. Isn't it beautiful? Arts and crafts. And it's all done in oak, not veneer, real oak lumber. There's a pair. This is some of my other favorites. Different doorknobs, including French and cobalt blue and robin's egg. And the amber was from when they had to switch over from manganese in the molds. And this, although it looks really pretty, is actually not cut. It's actually molded versus cut. Actually, this is the molded. Here, you can see the difference. See the mold? How that's molded and it's not cut, as opposed to this one. I'm sorry, I made it wrong earlier. This is actually leaded crystal. See the glare when it hits the lights. You see how that does on. That is the difference between that one and this one. You don't see anything bouncing on the walls back there, because this one was molded and wasn't cut. That's cut out of leaded crystal, for example. And the manganese in the molds that they used to put in them in up to 1919, that caused them to turn purple as they aged in the sun. And then the other one, when they wouldn't send us any more of that from Germany after 1919. We switched over to selenium for the molds, and that did it. So anyway, this is a beautiful piece. There's a pair. And when I was taking one of the houses down, one of the rooms is full of boxes. 1890s, 1871, established February. So all of these things, a lot of them are going to have new homes. And I wanted to go ahead and give you all the opportunity to perhaps help find them new homes. There's a nice piece, 1950s. And if we do, I'd love textured glass, don't you? I've got textured glass in several more pairs of these. There's squiggly glass, textured glass. For the bathrooms, it works really nice too, because that way you get all the light in from the hallway. I also have a number of display cases I'm going to probably sell. That's a doll. Look at this. It's got the stage drawers underneath it. So you get the display on one side, and it's all flat, so inside the counter. That's a beautiful one. Those are great pieces. Yeah. So, I want to go ahead and move a lot of things so that I can go ahead and pay off all the lands. Not a problem. And to be able to go ahead and to, incidentally, see how nice that looks? I've got 150 of those new old stock fireplace mantles with the nickel, not chrome. And I've got all the wood to make the bottoms and mirrors to make the backs. And I have all different shapes. That's the mate for that particular dressed up beautiful piece of, again, quarter sawn, tiger oak, solid wood. Oh, delicious. I think I have this one on Marketplace at the moment. There's some beautiful doors, double coffin. Those are 42 inches wide each, and I can reach 8 foot tall. So those are 8 foot tall. And then over here is the chapel set with the windows on the chapel. I also have a couple other chapel pieces, very nice ones. And this, you see, but then back here, Frank Lloyd Wright tiles. And that says hardware, and this one says paint. Nice, huh? So I'm going to put all these up online. A little bit of the darkness and mystery. And perhaps, you all will find somebody who wants these, and they're willing to go ahead and to pay you, or I should say pay me, and you'll make some of it. Oh yes, I collected hatchets. And if you're not familiar with, this is an adze. Now I got a size 15 foot, so let me tell you, that sucker's a leg cutter. And then there's a bunch of other things, oh my goodness, but here's the main thing back over here. I still have this pocket door hardware. And some of this is, for example, doorbells and pocket door hardware. And some of these things are so beautiful. The copper and the stuff in the design, fabulous. As you look at this one, and then you look at the next one, watch. There's the butterflies, bluebirds and butterflies, bluebirds, butterflies, bluebirds. Imagine that. And over here, oh, there it is, foxheads and dolphins. All this stuff is hidden in these old pieces. And I don't just have a few, got all these boxes that look like this inside, or look like this inside. Oh yes, or look like this inside. Art Deco, anybody? Well, that one is not Art Deco. That's Colombian. But I think you get the idea. I have a few more than I need, and I'm going to be selling them, and I need help. Some people can come and help put together and put these on the internet. Oh yeah, I also collected tools. And if we get them on the internet and sell them, then a piece of everything that sells would go to the people who help get it on the internet, so that it's incentive based. So if you manage to go ahead and sell some of this museum grade stuff, then like entire sets for a pocket door, all the pieces you need, that kind of thing, you can make a living from. And if you sold a lot, you'd make a lot of money. Instead of doing it by the hour, you'd make it in big chunks. So the idea is to get people who are really into the idea of beautiful art made when 12-year-olds stoked the furnaces. make things like this. And if you're into this kind of stuff and it's your passion, you might be able to do a tour here and come here for a week or two and work. And FOE, the Fraternal Order of dun, 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 how's that? Oddfellows. Huh? Who knows? But it's your foe behind that doorknob. So, my friends, I want you to go ahead and consider, what are you going to be doing for the next few years of your life? Do you have a plan? How about downsizing and helping find out ways to reuse all the old stuff to make new stuff instead of importing and throwing away all the good stuff? You would not believe what I've got. Well, and I want to share it. I want to create outposts where we can have this for sale and have people be able to make money off of it all, selling through the outposts where you're making houses and using all of this to make really cool houses. What do you think? It's a pretty long video. I'm going to shut it off, but I want to invite you. Check out. There we go. Better light. Check out what's going on. I mean it. Don't give this up. All this stuff, I've got no heirs. Nobody to give it to. I want to sell it so that everybody values it and it turns it into an organization that supports others to do this. To build your homes out of salvage. To build a future career out of salvage. To help sell it. To help find it. To help hunt it down. Save it. Help me. This, crazy as it seems, is my legacy. Thank you. Y'all have a good day, night, and most importantly, to make tomorrow a fantasy come true. Works for me. Thank you. Bye.